Hi, good morning, everyone. Sorry that we are 5 minutes late. No. We are here. So, how are you all? I hope your classes are going good and you are taking the most from your classes. You're keeping safe and you're concentrating on your upcoming exams. Right. So, most of you know me, and if there is anyone who's new to this class, my name is Prachi Garg, and I will be taking your session for article writing. And I hope the sentence types and vocabulary, both chapters were clear to you. Vocabulary notes are uploaded, I suppose, because I've already sent it. So if you have not downloaded, you can download them. Even the article writing notes are uploaded. So you can download from your student's portal, right? Subhash, everything is fine. There was some internet issue. Yeah. Is my voice still breaking? One second. Clear, just let me know it is clear so that then I can start with my class. Is everything okay now? Is my voice okay? I hope there is no buffering, no lagging, nothing. Everything is fine. Once you guys give me a heads up, I'll start the lecture. I won't start before that. I don't want you to miss anything. Sir, is my voice okay? हाँ क्योंकि kids have been writing, students are writing that my voice is breaking. Now it's fine. I think yes. Now it's people are saying that it's fine. Okay, so most of you are hearing my voice now perfectly fine. So let's start with today's lecture. Rules of my class. I hope you are all are ready with your study material. Your pen and pencils are handy with you. So that you can make notes of what I am saying if something is not there in your study material, even though your study material is quite self-explanatory and it covers everything, but still at times there are some points that might differ while explaining. So you can make the notes of it. It would help you keep them handy. So when you are preparing for your exams, those notes will help you. Right. So let's start with today's class. Now, what is article writing? I'm sure you have done this in your school, in your normal English course. You have done this. Okay, yeah. So now let's start with what is an article writing. Article writing is basically a non-fiction piece of text. Okay, non-fiction piece of text. Now, what is non-fiction? How many of you know what non-fiction is? What is non-fiction? I'm sharing my screen. Article writing. Now, article is a non-fiction text. Non-fiction means something that is not a story. Okay, it is based on some fact, it is based on some truth, or even if it is not based on anything, it is somebody's their personal opinion or view about something, right? So this is not a story. We are not telling a story in article writing. We are writing about any it could be about any topic, like literally any topic. You can talk about health, you can talk about entertainment, you can talk about lifestyle, you can talk about, you can write about maybe about, the education, schools, the impact of COVID, anything, whatever you want to write about, right? But it is non-fiction. You're not making up anything, right? Now, it can be serious, it can go up till ordinary, it can be entertaining. However you want your article to be, it can be anything. It is different, it is far, far, far different from report writing. Have you guys done report writing? I'm not sure. Or you're supposed to do report writing in your next class. I am not sure the chronology of the chapters. Mm, yeah. So, but nevertheless, I'll just explain it to you. Whenever we talk about report writing, it is like we are telling exactly what has happened. We are reporting some event, or maybe, some happening, some disaster that has happened, some accident that has happened, something good that has happened, anything. But we are reporting exactly what has happened. There is no personal view or opinion, that is included in report writing. But in article writing, you basically talk about how you feel, what are your ideas, what are the concepts. You discuss the different concepts, you discuss different ideas, and it covers a lot of things. Right, it is not as serious as report writing. You can make it as interesting as you want. By the use of language, you can pick some interesting topic that interests a lot of people. So article writing has a very I would say it's a very wide topic, right? And it is very interesting. I think everybody should try and write something. It is easier. Yes, Dhaneshwari, non-fiction means not imaginary. Good, good, good. Okay, report writing is yet to be done. All right, maybe it's the next chapter. Right. So I won't get into details of report writing, but I'm just saying that this is different from report writing. Right? When you will do report writing, you will automatically understand what is the difference between both. Right? Now, uh, when we talk about article writing, like I just said, it's a non-fiction piece of text. It can go up from serious to ordinary. It's just a piece of writing which is mainly intended to be published in newspaper, magazine, any journal. Right? These days you have so many online websites where you can get your articles published, right? So now you have so many platforms where you can do it. Right? Now, why do we write articles? We write article to discuss ideas, to concepts, some current issues, topics, some general interesting stuff. There are so many writers who only write about lifestyle, right? So they talk about the lifestyle regime. They talk about the food, good healthy food. There are some people who only write about food only, right? These days we have bloggers. What do these bloggers do? They write articles, right? They write their own personal opinion about something, or they are well researched articles. Also, some articles are packed with information, right? And they are well researched also. It is not only Akanksha, it's part of it. Yes, it's part of it. That's what you're writing, right? Yeah. Yes, Subhash, anything that you want to write about, right? But this article has to be very interesting if you want to reach to the wide audience. If you want your article to target wide audience, you have no age barrier, or you do not want to restrict to some people or some group of people, then you have to make it interesting, right? You have to use simple language. Don't use so complicated language that nobody understands, right? Use simple language that everybody understands, and easier yet interesting language that you use, the more and more people will read to you. Okay. And Yes, I always tell this if you've listened to my previous lectures also. Facts. If you add some facts to your research or to your to your article, it makes your piece of writing more interesting, more authenticated, right? People will take more interest in your writing, whatever you're doing, if you have some facts also with you, right? When you pack your personal views or your personal opinion with some fact, it makes people believe you, right? So try to use some maybe facts, maybe some some dialogue from anybody, some personal interviews, you can pick some lines so that people trust what you're saying, right? It is very important to build a trust with your readers also when you're writing an article, right? You are just not writing an article to practice your English, right? You're writing something you want people to read, right? So for that, your article should be well researched. It should be packed with some facts or maybe some dialogues. The language should be interesting and simple, right? Don't use very difficult words, right? That nobody understands. Clear? Are we clear till here? Anecdote is basically a short, interesting story about any incident or about any person, but it's very short. You know, you can include some stories and anecdotes. That's exactly what I said. For example, I am writing about impact of education, impact of COVID-19 on education, right? I cannot just write my personal views at what I feel. Did I ask people who are actually in schools? For example, I am not in school, right? And I'm not even, let's just say I'm not even teaching any school, in any school. And I want to write an article about impact of COVID-19 on education or on schools, right? So without speaking to the people who belong to school, without speaking to the parents, without speaking to the students, without speaking to the teachers, how can I decide what is the impact? Right? So in that case, I can add little anecdotes about some, maybe some teacher, how she was impacted, how her job was impacted, or maybe any student, that how, you know, their so many developments are being curbed by because of this online education, right? So I need to talk to the people, right? And I can add those stories, little stories in my article, right? That will make my article more interesting. I, as a person, individual who is not part of any school, I am not even a parent, I am not even a teacher, or my nobody in my house is a student right now in a school. How can I, as a third person, talk about it? That means if I'm writing an article, I need to research about it, right? Everything has to be well researched, right? I will speak to the students, I will speak to the parents, I will speak to the teachers, I will speak to the maybe school authorities and management of the school. Everybody is impacted. So when I talk about impact of COVID-19 on education, I will talk to all of these people to decide a collective impact. Clear? Yes, this is one example. We will be practicing such examples a lot because I have 3 sessions with you. The idea of 3 sessions is that I make you start thinking that you start organizing your thoughts and start thinking about what all can be included in your articles. One thing I would like to mention, this exercise was done in my previous sessions also with ICAI. You can also send me your written articles for corrections. If you really want me to look at your articles, I'll give you a topic in the end of the class or maybe in the middle of the class. You can actually write the articles and you can send it to me. I will correct them and send it back to you, right? So that you understand where you went wrong and you know how things should be, where the language needs to be worked upon, and how to organize your thoughts. So I will leave my detailed comments on your article, I will correct them and I will send it to you, right? So if you like to do this exercise, let me know. I will share the email ID where you can share your articles, right? So towards the end of these sessions, I will try and send it back to you. Thank you, Ayush. Thank you for these little appreciations. Okay. So, can we move ahead? Yes. All right. So next is that, yes, let's talk about the language. Whenever you're writing any writing skill, language is a very important part. You should know which type of language and how the language should be used, right? The language here that is used is informal or formal. Akanksha, I will be sharing my email ID with you. Don't worry. Mukta, I don't need your email ID. Rangana, I did not get. What did you mean by this? I will be sending an email ID from somebody from ICAI only. So you will be sharing the email IDs with him, and then he will be sending the articles to me. Okay, now don't start asking me the email ID. I will share it with you before the class ends. You guys are with me uh, till 4 o'clock today. So don't worry. Please share full screen. Okay. Okay. So the language that has to be used is formal plus informal. You can have a mix of both, but do not use no to casual language, to slangs. Okay. Article is also a proper piece of writing. So you're not supposed to use casual and slangs, anything like that. Right? So, but you can use informal. Okay. By inform, what is the difference between informal and casual? It's because of the use of words, right? The usage of the words, and maybe the not taking grammar very seriously, that makes the language very casual, right? When you talk about informal, it means that the use of words can be a little easy, but English has to be in the place. The language has to be in place. You cannot use any kind of a bad word, or you cannot use about words that only some people would understand, right? So use proper words, use proper English to write the article. It is always recommended to write articles in little informal language, less formal, I would say, not informal exactly, but less formal. Then it will create even more difference between report writing and article writing, because report writing is strictly formal writing, right? That is not informal. Am I clear? Yes. Any problem so far? Okay. Now, what are the objectives of article writing? The objective of article writing is it brings out the topic or the matter of interest in the limelight. Yes. So, why would you write an article? Would you just start writing an article about anything and everything? Why would people read your article? Nobody's going to read your article unless it is interesting and it is talking about something which is of importance, right? Something that is existing right now. People are talking about it. Then people would like to know about your view and your research also. You cannot write about anything that doesn't interest anyone. Then you will have a very limited audience to read. The article should provide information on the topics. Whatever you pick the topic on, you need to provide some information, right? Suggestion, a piece of advice. I mean, your article, for example, I say how to control your diabetes, right? This is my article. Now here, first I will provide information about what is diabetes and how it happens and how you need to, diagnose it and how you need to check it, right? Then of course I will be giving you some suggestions how to control, how to make some lifestyle changes to maintain that, right? So that your diabetes do not increase. Am I clear? I will be giving you some piece of advice. Maybe I can speak to some expert doctors and I can, get them on board and take some points from them and include it, doctor from AIMS, so and so says that, all right? So that will make it more authentic. I am not a doctor, right? So how can only I talk about diabetes? I need to speak to any doctor or any expert who on diabetes also, no? Or either I am a dietitian who can provide nutritionist who can provide you with the proper perfect diet. So if I'm not either of these two, I need to speak to the experts and then write an article. It influences the readers and urges them to think. You have to make your article so interesting. Now, for example, if I'm writing an article on diabetes, either people who are suffering from diabetes will read it, or the people whose parents or partners or anyone in the family is going through it, right? Besides that, nobody else is going to read it, right? So my target audience is quite limited, but I have to make sure that those limited number of people also get the entire information from my article. It influences the readers and urges them to think. The article discusses various stories, persons, locations, rising issues, technical development. The article can, I just told you, the article can be about anything. You can talk about various stories, persons, locations, rising issues, technical developments. It could be anything, right? So are we clear till here? Then we will move on to the format. Every writing skill has a format. Yeah, remember? Done that in school. I know. Rangna, I think you get a question for 4 or 5 marks. See, my focus is not to get you through your exam. Of course, that is there. But my focus is also to get you through your life when it comes to English. So, which is why I don't really go through the mark scheme and all of that in your question papers. No, I have not gone through that. All right, so let's discuss about the format of article writing, which is very easy. First is the heading. That is so obvious that you have to write a heading. Then you have to write about the writer's name. Okay, so then you write byline is basically the writer's name. Okay, then you start with the introduction. Introduction is when you start your article. Then comes the body. The body can be divided into 2 or 3 paragraphs. It could be more also. It totally depends on the kind of article that you are writing. And then comes the conclusion. So basically, you just have to break your article into the appropriate paragraphs. Okay, it could have it will have an introduction. It will also have. Okay, So it will have introduction, it will have conclusion. In the middle, you can, whatever you're writing about can be broken into 2 or 3 paragraphs. Now, you can look at this again. So you have title, then you have writer's name. Now, writer's name is towards the right of the title. Okay, and the next line towards the right. Then you have a body where you have introductory paragraph, descriptive. Then you can give some additional information, some facts and figures, some interviews, anything, right? And then you have a conclusion. It's very easy. You just have to remember that you have to give an interesting title, and then you have to give a writer's name, and then you can start writing your article. Are we clear about the format? I think it's pretty much clear. Okay, now I will be just taking up theory right now, and then we will start practicing. Now, title. Now I will be breaking down your format. Title. Now, title is the most important thing in any writing skill, right? If your title is not interesting, how will somebody read your article? The title has to be interesting, very interesting. Okay, make it simple but interesting. It should be catchy so that it grabs everybody's attention. Okay, your comments are very distracting, guys. Okay, so title is basically that. Okay, and the title should actually talk about the central theme of your article, what your article is about. When somebody reads your article, they should know what it means, right? Any title for that matter. For example, do I have any book here? I have all law books here. For that matter, any title, any book's title also. I only have, yes, this. Okay, now if this is the book which says drafting of contracts, right? Now, drafting of contracts, it automatically tells you that this book will have a lot of templates of how to draft your contracts. So similarly, whenever you have any article, whenever you're writing, you look at the title first. And whenever you read the title, you get to know very easily what it means. Clear? Yes? Okay. Then you have a writer's name. Writer's name is who has written the article, of course. Now, if the writer's name is not given in your question, you can just simply use ABC, XYZ. You can use any hypothetical name if that you want, right? Then comes the introduction. Now, introduction is to establishing the context, right? You can draw the reader's attention using anecdotes, startling facts, statistics, rhetorical questions, or quotations. Now, whenever you're writing an article, the beginning, the introduction will also decide if somebody is going to read your article or not. Your title first and then your introduction. Now, introduction, you can start with some very interesting fact that grabs everybody's attention. You can start with somebody's story. You can start with some statistics that, so and so many percentage of people have suffered during COVID-19. So many people have died in COVID-19. So any number that that will grab people's attention. You can start with a rhetorical question. Do you ever wonder how our universe, what is happening to our universe? So you can start your article with such questions, and you can write with some quotation. So if I'm writing any article related to maybe entrepreneurs or any startups, then I can pick somebody's quotations is dialogue, right? Any good successful entrepreneurs, whatever, whosoever's quotation will match with my central idea or my central theme of article, I can pick anybody's quote. This is what, or I can pick quotes from people in history, right? I can pick some quotes from Jawaharlal Nehru, some Mahatma Gandhi's quotes, any political leader, right? I can pick quotes from Bill Gates and so no. So okay, then comes the body. Now the body will talk about detailing the various aspects of your topic. Now you can talk about so many things. You can talk about the merits, demerits, causes, consequences, effects, advantages, whatever. Just break it down. Make your paragraphs short and simple. Don't make big paragraphs that makes tiring for people to read, right? Break them into small parts. Every paragraph should have a main point that you're discussing, right? Don't make the story go round and round and round and round, and the readers are not getting what they're reading, right? So break your article into small sections. All right. So, for example, again, I will pick up one topic only and I will be giving you examples with that only for now. So that's easier to understand. Like I just discussed you in the beginning, I said that impact of COVID-19 on education, right? Now, how do you think I'm going to break my paragraph? Why don't you do this exercise? I give you 2 minutes. If your topic is impact of COVID-19 on schools, right? I want you to tell me that if you have to break this into 4 paragraphs, what will you write in those 4 paragraphs? Forget introduction and conclusion. I am not talking about introduction and conclusion here. Just tell me about the main body. If you have to write 4 paragraphs, what will you write in those 4 paragraphs? You know, what all you will discuss if this is the topic. Okay, start. You have 2 minutes to tell me. Mukta, what kind of a question is this? Why the writer name is necessary? Why won't you write the writer's name who's written the article? Isha, of course, I am a teacher. What kind of a question is that? All right, guys, concentrate. I need to know what will you write? How will you write the basic? Just give me a heading that I will discuss the about COVID-19. I will discuss about the advantages. I will talk about disadvantages of COVID-19 on schools. I mean, anything. Just give me 2 to 3 words about each paragraph that you will write. Heck, obviously, topic will be given in the question. How can you write without a topic? Quick. Good, Akanksha. I'm glad. So, introduction about COVID and education, very good. Then you would talk about the direct and indirect effects of COVID on education, future consequences, impact of overall development of children, and conclusion. All right, good. Will you also talk about some positive things? causes interviews from children. Akanksha, what you mean to say the discipline? Yes, children have lost that discipline of getting ready, the morning assembly, getting the nails checked, incomplete homework, lunch breaks, you know. Yes, of course. Okay, Akashni. Naman, very good blessing for digitalization. Also, I think this online teaching has helped a lot of people. A lot of students, they don't have to travel now. They don't have to stay from away from their families to attend classes. All right. Okay, so yes, now you got fairly. I have read all your answers. All right, stop. Mukta, please stop sending me one comment again and again. After every two children, I see your comment again. Don't do that. I am reading everybody's comments side by side. So stop sending me same thing five times. Naman, you too. Vinayak, I don't understand how is this demand for more advancement of technology using drone and delivery of goods. How does that help in schools? All right, fair idea. Yes. So this is how you do it, right? We will be discussing mind mapping also. That how now after these 4 points are ready, how you're going to elaborate more after these 4 points also. So we will start discussing that also. Now, then comes the conclusion. You have to give a formal and logical end to the written content and the summary of all that has been included in the article. One may include with a final opinion, recommendation, a comment expressing hope, warning, and appeal. So it depends on what you're writing about. Now I am talking about maybe a negative impact, right? So I can close my article with a comment expressing a hope, right? An appeal to government to take care of the situation and open the schools as soon as possible, because it is impacting, it has a massive impact on students development. Just think about the children who had to go to nursery, right now. Their development is up, at halt. But the positive side is, now we all are so used to online teaching, right? Now you don't want to visit you, there's no travel cost for anyone to go anywhere and take the classes or attend the classes. Students don't have to leave their homes to attend the classes. Now they can just attend the class from home. So everything has pros and cons anyway. Now there's certain points that you need to remember while writing an article. Okay, so the first tip is minimize your barrier to entry, right? Uh, Minimize your barrier to entry, which means that, okay, writing a good article requires two things, which is good content and good technique, right? So very, very important. Then you minimize your barrier to entry, as in like, uh, don't make your article from the beginning very, very restrictive, right? So you create your own barriers that you can't even justify your own point. So try to frame your things in such a way that you can justify also towards the end. Keep your paragraph short and textual, visual, appealing. In general, short and everything. Don't you make paragraphs big, 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 big. No, unless you have good facts or good things or good quotations to add on. Don't. Keep it short and sweet so that people, it's very easy to read. Tell a story. Okay, tell a story. By story, I do not mean a fiction story. Story means anecdote, somebody's story, right? That invokes readers to read, that invokes the attention, or that grabs the attention of a reader. Show, then tell. Start by showing me your points in action, then explain to me what it means and why it matters. Start by showing what you want to say, right? And then start explaining it. Am I clear? Yes. Besides this, we have topic should be unique and of relevance. Know the talk. I'm going to just share this. Just give me a second. I'm going to share your study material here on the screen. Okay, it's there. Perfect. Okay. Now you have to remember some points when you're writing an article. Your topic should be unique and of relevance. This is needless to say that your topic should be very unique and of relevance. When you're writing something, it should have some substance. It should have some importance to it. Know the target audience. You should know for whom you are writing the article. Now, for example, you want to write an article about how to clear CA exam, okay, the CA final. Now, your target audience is only the students who are appearing for final. Nobody else would be interested in your article. So you are writing the article only for the students who are appearing for final, and maybe a little for the students who will be appearing for the finals next time, right? So this is your target audience. This is what a target audience means, right? Like I told you in the case of diabetes, if I'm writing an article about diabetes, then I'm only focusing on people who are suffering from diabetes, or people whose family members are. Other than that, nobody is interested to hear about diabetes, right? Identify the aim of our article. Now, why you're writing an article is very important. You want to advise someone, you want to inform someone, you want to entertain, you want to compare, describe, etc. You should know why you're writing an article. You can write about anything, but in your mind you should have a clarity why you are writing it. Am I clear? The title should be short and eye-catchy. The title has to be short. The title cannot go on for 2 lines, right? It has to be short, maybe 4, 5, 6 words, and it should be eye-catchy. Eye-catchy means that grabs your attention. Begin with a striking opening sentence which gets the reader's interest in topic. Like I just told you, your beginning has to be very, the beginning has to be very strong, right? That grabs somebody's attention. The writer must have enough to say. The writer must have enough to say about the ideas. You should have your research ready with you. You should have your statistic facts wherever required ready with you, so that you can express your ideas well. You can elongate your ideas pretty well. Be true to what you write. Make assertions. Go by them throughout the article. Be true to what you write. Be true means you should believe in what you're writing first. Make assertions. You have to justify it. Make people believe what you're writing and stick to it throughout the article. It shouldn't happen in first line. You're talking about, now, for example, again, let's take on the impact. Now, I have to decide that do I want to compare the positive and the negative part of the impact of COVID-19 on education, or I only want to talk about the negative part, right? Now, for example, I start about all the negatives, right? It will not happen that I am talking about negative, 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 and then suddenly I start talking about the positive. Then I won't be able to justify my point. Either from the beginning, I talk about the positives and the negatives of online teaching, I mean the impact of COVID on schools, right? So I need to decide what I'm writing about. Keep the article brief. Unnecessary repetitions or irrelevant information makes it too boring. So do not share the information which is not required. Anything that is irrelevant will make it boring. Don't repeat your one point again and again. If you want to express yourself, then find out new ways. Break the article into paragraph to delineate into separate ideas. Now, when you break the articles, you are also breaking your ideas, right? Separate your ideas. Don't mix things. Pay attention to the choice of voice and tense that you're using. Now, pay attention to the active passive voice or tense that you're using. Conclude logically. Am I clear? Yes. Are we clear till here? Any problems so far about the article writing? Give me a substance means talk about something that has some weightage, something that is meaningful. Don't talk about anything that doesn't have any meaning to it. Rishabh, we will be doing some activity. Don't worry. Any problem so far? If there is not, then let's take a 5 minutes break and let's join back at 12 o'clock. Yes? Shall we take a break? All right, so I'll just take a break for 5 minutes. I will be back at 12 o'clock. All right. and then we will discuss further. All right, everyone, welcome back. So we were talking about the article writing and about the points to remember while writing an article. Now, I would like you to do a small exercise with me. This exercise is about choosing a title, appropriate title, so that you understand that how you need to choose the title to your articles. uh, Choosing a good and catchy title is the first beginning. If your title is not good enough, nobody is going to read what you have written. So it is important for you to choose a good title. So this small exercise is about choosing an article. I will be showing you small passages and then I will be giving you four options of the titles. You have to tell me which title is appropriate. All right, and why. Let's start. Hmm. Okay, this is here we go. Okay, now you have to read this passage, and there are four options of titles given. Just pick one from it. Okay, interesting. I've already started getting answers. Hmm. So far, only two of you got the correct answer. No, not two. Three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Nine of you have got the correct answer. Out of, I think, 20, 25 people have sent the responses. 10, 11, 10, 12, 13, 14. 15 of you got the correct answer now. I've got about like 40 of you that responded this. Out of 40, 15 of you have got the correct answer. Okay, so there are many more. All right, let's just decode it. Use of electronic mail, email, has been widespread for more than a decade. Email simplifies the flow of ideas, connects people from distant offices, eliminates the needs for meetings, and often boosts productivity. However, email should be carefully managed to avoid unclear and inappropriate communication. Email messages should be concise and limited to one topic. When complex issues need to be addressed, phone calls are the best. Now, let's start from here. Does this passage talk about why phone calls are better than email? No, it doesn't. Nowhere it is comparing phone calls and email. In the end, it just said for the complex issues, phone calls are the best, but that's a last statement, okay? But nowhere there is a comparison between phone call and email. So why phone calls are better than email? No, it is wrong. So the students who have answered D, it's absolutely wrong. Then comes C. Email, the ideal form of communication. It doesn't say that this is the best way of communicating. No. Where does the article tell you? It just tell you about that, the use has been on widespread and blah, 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 and how you need to take care and how it simplifies your life. But it doesn't specify that this is the best way of using the communication. No. B, email's popularity. No, it doesn't talk about how popular email is, how much people enjoy using emails. No. So everyone who has answered B, C, D, it's absolutely wrong. It's option number A, appropriate use of email. How you should use the email, right? How it is used, how you should use, and in which situation emails do not work, right? The complex issues. So the answer is A, appropriate use of email. Clear? Any problems? All right, let's do one more exercise. Okay. After this, if you'll tell me to show you one more example, I'll give you that also. Okay. Ask yourself before selecting any title that is this the correct title? Is this title justifying what is being said in the passage? Quickly. I'm doing this exercise because this will help you. Those who have got the correct answer for the first one, very good. Well done. All right, let's do one more example quickly. All right, stop telling me if your answer was correct or not. I already know it. Concentrate on the next question, please. This is a tricky one. Only two of you got it right till now. Also notice how the titles are, structured. Nishka, what app are you talking about? I don't know. Okay, okay. Mm. Okay, shall I discuss the answer? The Woodstock Music and Art Fair, better known to its participants and to history simply as Woodstock, should have been a colossal failure. Just a month prior to its August 15, 1969 opening, the fair's organizers were informed by the Council of Wallkill, New York, that permission to hold the festival was withdrawn. Amazingly, not only was a new site found, but word spread to the public of the fair's new location. At the new site, fences that were supposed to facilitate ticket collection never materialized, and all attempts at gathering tickets were abandoned. Crowd estimates of 30,000 kept rising by the end of the 3 days. Some estimated the crowd at 500,000. Then on opening night, it began to rain. Off and on throughout all 3 days, huge summer storms rolled over the gathering. Despite these problems, most people think of Woodstock not only as a fond memory, but as defining moment for an entire generation. Now, backstage at Woodstock, no. Does it talk about backstage? Woodstock from the band to the Who, no. It is not talking about it what happened from the band. Woodstock, the untold story, it doesn't say that nobody knows about the story. It is remembering Woodstock. Somebody is just having a fond memory about Woodstock and they're just talking about it. Clear? So it's option C. All right, clear? All right, let's now look at the steps in article writing. So this was about title. This exercise was important so that you know how to choose an article. Now let's come on to that how to start writing an article. The first is to know your audience. Very important. If you do not know what is your, yes, Prashant, it was very tricky. All right, now please listen to this very carefully. This is very, very important. Target audience, very important. You should know whom you're targeting, right? Now next comes the purpose of writing. Like, why are you writing this article? You want to give some information, you want to give some suggestion, you want to give some advice, you just want to compare and contrast, you want to describe about something. What is your purpose? Right? Now, based on these two, you start to collect and select information. Now, if I know, for example, my target audience is students, and my purpose is to give them advice, right? So then I will collect the information and select it according to the students. One, that is beneficial to the students. Second, that gives the advice what I want to give to the children, right? So this is collecting and selecting. Then you do your research. Basically, this is all your research. Then comes the organization. It is very important to organize the information in sequence. If your information is not in sequence, then again, something will be missing and your thoughts will not be conveyed. Clear? Yes. So you have to organize your thoughts. No, Ayush, articles are never written square box. That is notice that you were supposed to write in the box. Notice writing. Okay, are we clear till here? Then I will explain you how to organize your thoughts. Yes? Okay, look at this thing. Now, once the information has been gathered and selected, you must organize it. Now, the example given here is careers in commerce. So, who will be our target audience for careers in commerce? Students who have opted for commerce or students who are going to opt for commerce, right? So, I have to write the article. Yes. So if the topic is current commerce, the target audience is students of commerce. The article should be informative, detailing the various careers that commerce student can choose from, colleges, university. So now everything about careers in commerce, from the colleges that you can choose, the eligibility criteria, what is the selection procedure. The language must be formal and the language should be easy and straightforward for comprehension. If the article is meant for doctors, then technical jargon related to field medicine can be used. ISRA summary, when you write something in short. Article writing is not summary. You're not writing something short. You're giving some information. Summary is when you're giving a crux of something. You make something short and then tell somebody. But article is totally different. You can't compare these two. Now, current commerce. So I have to organize my thought that, one point will be about placements, one will be about post-graduation, one will be about various courses, a career in commerce that students who opt for commerce can do. They can do chartered accountancy and they can do cost and works accountancy. Now, if they're doing chartered accountancy, then from where can they do? They can do it from Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. What is eligibility? Now, third course, so they can do 3 courses. One is chartered accountancy, cost work accountancy, and company secretary, right? Now, from where they can do it and what is the eligibility criteria? Now, what is required overall? They can do post-graduation, they need some soft skills, and then we can talk about some placements. Are clear? So this is how you can organize your thought. Make some broad points first. I will include this. Based on that, start making the notes. Now, underneath this, you can start making the notes. word about chartered accountants, you will write. So that what exactly is what chartered accountant means? Yes. Cost works accountancy. What is this course means? Right? What happens and what you do in this? What is a job profile and what do these people do? Company secretary. Now, from where you can do it, from Institute of Chartered Accountants. Then you can also talk about how you can apply for this course, whosoever wants to apply for this course. And similarly, you can talk about everything. Shraddha, it is recommended to use third person. Okay, first person, second person, third person. It is recommended. Okay, but if you're writing for a personal blog or you're writing on personal views, totally, in that case, you can use I or we, but that needs to be avoided. Am I clear? That is recommended to be avoided, but it's nothing wrong to use it. Usually articles are in third person form. Okay. Now look at this article. Demonetization. Now, if I'm talking about demonetization, now I will talk about the problems caused by demonetization, advantages of this demonetization, reasons of implementation, what is demonetization, and solution. Right. So I will break my article into what is demonetization, right? Reasons for implementation for second. Then I will talk about problems caused by demonetization. Then I can talk about some advantages of it, and then solution towards the end, right? This is how I will organize my article if I have to write about demonetization. Now, if you see underneath every heading, we have jotted down some points here. So now these are not the full sentences, but when we are writing an article, we will be making the full pack good sentences article. Am I clear? Yes. Any problem so far? Okay. Any problem so far? Now, why do we organize the article? Right? When we start writing, we have so many thoughts in mind, right? You know, you want to talk about this also, you want to talk about that also. There's so many things. If you will not organize your article, you will mix everything, right? So, for example, let's talk about this problems caused by demonetization, advantages or of demonetization, right? Now, I know for the fact that there are some advantages, there are some disadvantages, but if I don't make my separate notes, I might mix them. And if I mix them, the reader will not understand what I'm trying to say. Am I supporting demonetization? Am I against it? Am I talking about something positive? Am I talking about negative? No. My idea is to simplify what demonetization is about to a person who doesn't understand what demonetization is. Right? I am not here to make somebody against it or to make somebody believe it. I am just laying down some basic article about what it is, how it is going to help people, and how it can cause problem to some people. Am I clear? Prashant, which screen is not visible enough? You can't see this study material page that I'm sharing with you on your screens. Okay. So if you do not organize your thoughts, you will mix it. These will be all different paragraphs that we will make. We will make a paragraph on advantages. We will make a paragraph or two paragraphs of problems. We'll make a separate paragraph of reasons of implementation. We will have a separate paragraph about demonetization, and then we will have a separate paragraph about solutions. Am I clear? Yes. Now, if I give you one topic, can you break and make notes like this? Right? First, tell me the headings, that how you will be breaking, what all you will be covering. Now, these headings are the portions that you will be covering in your article. The pointers beneath them are what you're going to tell about the heading. Now, look at the first one. Advantages of demonetization: help government fight fraudulent activities, difficult to hide black money, government able to track transactions. Just make notes. This is called mind mapping. What is it called? Mind mapping. This is called mind mapping. Okay, now mind mapping is when you organize your thoughts in some particular manner, in a logical and sequential manner. So you can have different diagrams to it. You can have basically main topic here, then you talk about the main points here, right? Then you make main points here beneath them. So you can use any form of diagram that you like, right? You can have a main topic here, right? So here we have demonetization, right? Now, main points that I want to discuss. These are the 5 things that I want to discuss. First is advantages. Second is problems. Okay. Sorry, before that, what is it? How it is implemented. Okay. Then the advantages, then problems, and then later comes the solution. Okay, so I know that I want to discuss what first, then implementation, then I want to talk about advantages, then I want to problem, and then I want to discuss what solution. Clear? Yes. Are we good to go? And then after that, you basically start writing an article. After your points are organized, after your thoughts are organized, then you start writing an article. Now, the article, I told you earlier also, it could be formal, semi-formal, informal, depending on your target audience. But something like this is a serious topic, so you will use formal language, right? Now, you will give your title, then you will begin writing with a striking opening statement. Now you can have a very striking opening statement. Maybe you can pick somebody's controversial quote. Maybe you can tell about how people are suffering, or maybe you can talk about what are the effects. Do you know how a demonetization can change your life? Anything that is catchy, and then you represent a strong argument with your artist or with your idea supporting it with evidence. Then you can keep your strong argument, but when you keep an argument, you should have an evidence to it. Okay, you have a data to support it, right? You can't make an argument without having any proof or any evidence to it, right? Then uh, you can use vocabulary and descriptive language appropriate for the article. You have to use the vocabulary that is appropriate to your topic. Okay, linking words, expressions, a variety of vocabulary will only improve your work. So if you use different kinds of vocabulary, if you use EDMs, if you use collocations, different kinds of vocabulary, it will make your article interesting, right? Do not talk about yourself. You're writing for a general public, not a closed circle of people. Your opinion are only interesting to other people if you can justify and explain them. Do not only talk about yourself, right? Please understand that you're writing for a larger audience. If you can justify what you're thinking and view with the statistics and some people's quotes with some logics, then talk about yourself. Otherwise, give a well-researched article. Am I clear? Yes. Right? Okay. Now, the second exercise we will be doing here is okay. On the page number 8.6, I hope you all have your study material. Okay. Now, this one says the health problems of tattoos. Now, you have to tell me how this article has been broken down. What are the topics or things that this article is discussing, right? If you have to create a mind map, what will be your main headings? So, read this article and tell me the main headings, main things that are discussed in this article. If the screen is not clear, then please get your own study material and read from it. It is article number 2. All right, start. Title can be asked type. What does that mean? Prashant have discussed the sequence in the article. That is what. Then you talk about the implementation. Then you can talk about advantages, problem that you decide. You want to discuss about problems first or advantages. Then comes the solution. Subhash, I can share, or maybe let's stop. Do this article. Okay. Do this one. Article number 5, the impact of social media on society. See how it is been started, the title, what does it discuss first and what it discuss second. Article number 5, forget about article number 2. Quickly start doing article number 5. Just see how, paragraphs are short paragraphs make your reading pace also go faster. You also want to read the article quickly. It doesn't bore you. Mukta, you're missing on the entire class. You were just sending me one query again and again for no reason. Rishabh, done with article. Where is your response? Yes, one second. I'm just opening this from my files. Then I can do markups also in this. All right. Let's start talking about what it is talking. Almost a quarter of world's population is now on Facebook. Nearly 80% of all internet users are on this platform because social networks feed off interactions among people. They became more powerful as they grow. Now they're making a statement here. Okay, I don't think I can write here. All right, so the first paragraph talks about some statement. Okay, thanks to internet, each person with marginal views can see that he's not alone. And when these people find one another via social media, they can do things, create memes, publications, an entire online world had bluster of their worldview and their break stream into the mainstream. Yes, Gajendra, didn't you check your schedule? Okay, Dhaneshwari, very good. Okay, Akash Neel, very good. All right. So then they talk about that how people can find each other on the space of social media. Without social media, social, ethical, environment, political ills would have minimum visibility. Now, this is talking about something very positive about social media. That if social media wouldn't have been there, then the social, ethical, the awareness that people have these days would have been very limited. Increased visibility of issues have shifted the balance of power from the hands of a few to the masses. Now, the power of controlling everything has changed from the positive things that how social media is helping. While social media activism brings an increased awareness about societal issues, questions remain as to whether this awareness is translating into real change. Now, this is again a question. Now, the author has told you about some positive things, but now it is talking that is it really working in the real life? Some argue that the social, now some argue, now he's talking about the people's view here, not the personal view here. Some argue that means he has heard from people. Some argue that social sharing has encouraged people to use computers, mobile phones to express their concerns on social issues without actually having to engage actively with campaigns in real life. The support is limited to pressing the like button or sharing. Now, this is the disadvantage. This is very human reaction. This is a very human reaction when people are given options that absolve them from responsibility to act. A 2013 study by the university. Now this is a study, okay, this is backed up with some facts here. It is not somebody's just personal view how one person feels about the social media. right? Now this person has backed up the argument with some study, right? The researchers found out, then they're talking about the researchers. It has been said that the information is power. Without it is being said that information is power. Without a means of distributing information, people cannot harness the power. Now it is talking about it how information is power. And this means that the longer the information is in circulation, the more discussion it generates and the greater the impact on the social media. Now, how social media can actually bring a change, right? While the world would be much smaller place without social media, it has caused harm as well as good. Now, it also wants to discuss about some negative effects of it. However, the positive effect of social media is astronomically and far surpasses the ills associated with the sharing. Now, the purpose of the writer here is to talk about the positives of social media. Do you get it here? He has specified in one line that there are some harms to it. There's some negative things also. But I don't want to focus on the negative part. I am only talking the positive because positives are way more ahead and way more in number than the negatives. At the end of the day, sharing is about getting people to see and respond to content. As long as the content is still relevant, the need for information still exists. It's always worthwhile for any organization to use social media to keep publishing. Now, it has basically spoken about the positive and how social media can be a positive for the social change, for the real change in the world. Correct. So now, do you see the purpose? The target audience is anybody who's associated with social media. Now, when I say anybody, almost all of us is associated, even our parents, grandparents, our healths in the home. Everybody's on social media these days. So this article is basically for everyone here. One, the target audience is wide, like really wide. Second, the purpose. The purpose is to talk about the positive and how social media can be part of a positive change in the world. Yes, there are some negatives to it, but we're keeping the negatives aside. Am I clear? Yes. See how they're small, small paragraphs, how it is just so easy to read. Every paragraph or everything has an agenda. Even if the simple paragraph, the researchers found the public endorsement is an action meant to satisfy others' opinions, whereas people who give it in private do so because the cause is aligned to their values. The researchers found that public endorsement in action is meant to satisfy others' opinion. But when somebody do it personally in private, then they are just talking about their own values and they just want to take care of themselves. Am I clear? Even if it's a one line paragraph, it has a separate agenda. So you have to break it like this. I'm not saying you have to make it one line paragraph, but you can make it 2, 3 lines paragraph together. Okay, if you have understood this, then now let's do the tattoo wala or that tattoo article. Okay, now quickly tell me what it is about. Just break these paragraphs into points. Then what each paragraph is talking about. Yes, Rekha, we do have. You guys don't check your schedules. All right, quickly, before we go for the session and come back 2 o'clock, let's just finish this. And I will keep 5 minutes for if you guys have any issues till now. In the next session from 2 to 4, we will be practicing article writing. Okay, Harshita, good. Varshista, we still have some time to go. We still have 10 minutes. Of course, articles can be opinionated. It always expresses opinion. All right. So now, if you see in this, the health problems of tattoos. Now, it starts from tattoos have been around thousands of years. It gives you an impression that this is not a new thing. It brings you notice that it has been there for thousands of years, but they had always been associated with health problems. So the main potential of it getting if tattoo is infection. Now, from the first two lines we get to know that we this is going to be everything about infection, how it happens and what happens after that, and maybe something about the treatment and how many people gets these infection. Now the next one talks about the process. So the tattooing process involves pushing pigmentation. Now what are tools required for tattooing and how it is done? Yes. Third is the major problem of infection, that how it can be caused, that is unclean tattooing. All right. It can infect the recipient with hepatitis B. In turn, hepatitis can cause inflammation. And then what can happen with hepatitis also? What problem can be caused? Right. Now, what are the symptoms? Now, if this infection is done, then what will be the initial symptoms to it? Then it talks about by this point, the pain and other symptoms should have taken to your doctor. Now, then you have to go and see the doctor. How many people get it done? Now, how infection can be prevented? What are the preventions? What are things that you need to take care of? Now, when you receive what all things you need to take care of if you want to get your tattoo done? After receiving your tattoo, what all things need to be taken care of? And what is the advice of the author? Now, author advises that instead of getting a permanent one, get a temporary one, right? So this is what this all article is about. Now, this one gives us the entire information about the infection that can be caused, or what are the causes, how you can prevent it, what is the care that you need to do after you get the tattoo done. So most of you have got the pointers correct. Okay, I've been reading your comments. Most of you have got it right, which is good. Great frame. All right, so this was it in the today's session, in the today's morning session. I will be starting and we will be doing some practicing in the next session, in the next two sessions. Okay, I will be talking about the do's and don'ts. What are the tips of writing a good article? First, we will practice some articles and then we will discuss about the do's and don'ts. What are the common mistakes that people make while writing an article, and then there will be a small activity of that, that where I will be judging how many have got the rules and regulations correct. Now, if you have any problems, please ask me now. If everything is clear to you, just tell me it's clear. If there is any problem, ask me now, so that in the next 2 hours we productively practice article writing. Okay, and if we can practice it enough, then you don't have to send me the articles. Okay, we will be together making how you can do the mind mapping and how you can practice, how you can make the pointers. We will be working over that, right? So, but anything in terms of format and article writing, any confusion that you have, please ask me. If everything is clear to you, let me know that, ma'am, everything is clear. I'm waiting. It's clear, it's clear, it's clear, it's perfectly clear. Yes, of course, Risham, newspaper articles are the same. But you need to differentiate between the articles and the reports in the newspapers. Mukta, because it was explained already, but why option, which option was there? Mukta, if you look at the last statement, it just tells you about it. You know, somebody is remembering about Woodstock in the memory. It doesn't happen now anymore. This is why only option C is appropriate. Anything else? Good, Shraddha, your pointers were correct. Shraddha, the conclusion was with the advice. Mm-hmm. Amritpal, for your exams, no, you cannot have a data for everything. You can just make it up on your own, right? For your exams. But when you are writing a serious article for any newspaper, for any website, then you should research it well. For your exams, no, you can just make it up. Yes, Shraddha, that's exactly what I said. You can just make it up for your exams, because of course in your exam you cannot quickly research the article and write about it. The idea is that you should know that you have to include some data, some quotation, anything. You can just make it up for the exam. But when you're writing for some real magazine, journal, newspaper, then your article should be authenticated, well checked, well cross checked. You cannot write anything wrong. Average length. It totally depends on what you want to write. But for your exams, I think it's 300 to 350 words, maybe maximum 500 words, not more than that for your exams. But if you're writing for anything else, you can just, that totally depends on you. How many words you want to mention. All right. Is there any other doubt, or can we just call it off for the morning session and meet you at 2 o'clock? All right. So let's meet at 2 o'clock. Go have your lunch and come back quickly.